Good morning, I am Tracy Spence with your newscast. This newscast is brought to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join the living. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. And Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 8:30 a.m., on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. Now for the news in details. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Jamaica can now afford to respond to certain economic shocks without resorting to borrowing from other countries or financial institutions. He was addressing a ceremony yesterday to commemorate the 109th anniversary of the birth of the country's second Prime Minister, Sir Donald the Sangster. Prime Minister Holness says Jamaica's economy remains stable without the need for additional debt. The Prime Minister says the inclement weather at the weekend took the island by surprise. However, he's seeking to reassure the public that the government can afford to implement a response to the infrastructure damage caused by flooding in sections of the country. Prime Minister Holness says despite the impact of COVID-19, Jamaica has never completely shut down its economic operations. He adds that people who are asking for the country to reopen should realize it was never closed. U.S. Ambassador to Jamaica, Donald Tapia, says the Jamaican government is well aware of concerns raised by the United States over the prospects of using a Chinese firm to build out a 5G network in Jamaica. According to media reports, the U.S. has declared that engaging China or a Chinese firm to implement 5G technology could pose several risks to the island, particularly to the financial sector. It says the ambassador has warned that the U.S. has national security concerns with 5G technology developed by Chinese companies such as Huawei and ZTE. The U.S. ambassador, Donald Tapia, says his country isn't threatening Jamaica, but he told reporters that there are consequences for utilizing the services of such Chinese firms. He is insisting that lawsuits have been filed against the Chinese firms for alleged data breaches. Meanwhile, starting next month, Jamaica will provide health insurance coverage to all the island's visitors with an international passport in light of the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the program, called Jamaica Cures, is the first of its kind to be implemented globally. The Tourism Ministry is to charge a $40 fee to all visitors to the country to fund the program. Minister Bartlett says Jamaica has welcomed over 150,000 visitors since the borders reopened in June. And he says the Resilient Corridor initiative has performed well so far. He says the COVID-19 pandemic has led to the global projection of 120 million job losses and a 60 to 80% decline in international arrivals. In sports, Jamaica and West Indies batting star Andre Russell has pulled out of the Sri Lankan T20 League because of injury less than a week after he was drafted. Russell is among 5 foreign players who have withdrawn from the tournament, but his came as the biggest surprise because despite not playing for the Kolkata Knight Riders in the Indian Premier League since October 18 due to a knee injury, Russell has not announced he's withdrawing from the IPL. Russell was scheduled to appear for the Colombo Kings, who have been hit hard as 2 other big names, Faf de Pelsi and Mvanda Blisa, have also pulled out of the tournament. There were much skepticism in the halls of power of West Indies cricket and elsewhere in the general public last week when Russell was drafted for the Lankan League. And that is it for the news. This newscast came to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join the living. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. And Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 8:30 a.m., on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. On behalf of the news and production team, I am Tracy Spence. Do have a good morning.